Once again, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Welcome to the home of authoritative news coverage. My name is Jesse Rogers. Joining us on sign language interpretation is Wilson Mushora. Let's begin with our top story tonight, where Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has successfully managed to broker a handshake between retired President Uhuru Kenyatta and DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua ahead of the 2027 general election. KTN can authoritatively confirm that former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo played a major role in brokering a ceasefire between Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua in a deal arrived at in Nigeria early last month. And as our senior political affairs reporter Chris Thyro details, the formal handshake between former President Uhuru and former Deputy President Gachagua has tentatively been slated for mid this month.
Things between the two leaders appear to have nose-dived during the swearing-in of the Kenya Kwanza administration at the Kasarani Stadium when former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua launched a scathing attack on former President Uhuru Kenyatta, almost going personal, tainting him as a failure in his leadership in his presence.
The truth of the matter is that we have inherited a dilapidated economy that is facing almost an economic shutdown.
I will defend my family, right? And I will defend it to the end.
The former deputy president will further use his powers to politically frustrate the Kenyatta family, going to the extent of the police protecting goons who invaded the Kenyatta's Northlands farm, destroying property worth millions of shillings. But as fate would have it, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua would later find himself in the deep end of the opposition after he was hounded out of office through an impeachment motion. With no options left, Gachagua would later seek an olive branch from the Kenyatta family in a bid to cement his political influence in the Mount Kenya region. Talks to bring the two together have been ongoing and spearheaded by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka. And now KTN can confirm that the handshake between the fourth President Uhuru Kenyatta and DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua is already sealed. According to the inner circles in the United Opposition, the deal was sealed in Nigeria at the beginning of this year. The former president and Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka quietly held a high-level meeting with former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo at the sidelines of the prestigious Future Africa Leaders Awards in Lagos, Nigeria. It is said that Obasanjo, who is one of Africa's most influential elder statesmen, played a major role in brokering the deal. That is said that Uhuru agreed for a formal handshake with DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua.
Secretary General maundu macio mahende ciothe guthoma mutandao andu ne dioi anaroiga arugamirire Jubilee mararu Gachagua na ku araru more ogene edi kwenda maundu macio magikodi.
We cannot sit back and see you use your protege kumkosea heshima Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Na mimi nikiwa kiongozi wa mlima ni jukumu langu kulinda watu ya mlima akiwemo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ambaye ni kiongozi wetu.
And with that in place, what remains now is the formal handshake between the two leaders who initially were friends turned political foes. At some point, Gachagua was Uhuru's personal aide. The event is set to take place mid this month. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has been working round the clock to ensure that Mount Kenya region moves to the 2027 general election united and speaking with one voice. So far, all indications have been that former President Uhuru Kenyatta will throw his weight on the presidential candidate that the united opposition will have settled on.
Lakini kusema mstaafu sio kusema uniingize kidole kwa macho, mimi pia nitakuingiza.
The united opposition has been assuring their supporters that they will work together and support one of their own and the person who will face President William Ruto at the ballot. Now, as much as the united opposition looks disjointed, especially when it comes to naming their preferred presidential candidate, the much-anticipated handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua will definitely give the opposition fresh impetus, even as they seek to solidify their support in the Mount Kenya region. Chris Thyro, KTN, Nairobi.
Thanks, Chris Tyro. Still on politics, ODM will be eyeing